Hey, my name is Tiffany. I'm a fat yoga teacher and I'm just trying to make yoga more accessible for everybody. And I thought this week that I would share my self-love journey, why I even began, and where I'm at now, and how I help other people begin their self-love journeys. So to understand this, we need to go back 8 years for when I was first becoming a mom to my son. And when I became a mom to my son, I realized really quickly that I wanted to raise him differently than how I was raised. And so when I had my son, I knew I didn't want to yell. I knew that I wanted to learn why he did the way he did the things that he did. I wanted to take on more of like a gentle parenting approach and understand just like more to parenting than just like having an expectation, not meeting the expectation, and then a consequence. Like I felt like there was more to parenting than just that. So fast forward to like 4 years later, I had my daughter, and that's really when it went from like I want a gentle parenting approach to I want a loving approach to teach my daughter how to love herself, because all of the things started flooding back for me from when I was a child, understanding that my mom did the best that she could. I existed in the 90s where Britney Spears and low-rise shorts were like a thing, and it just is what it is, right? So we know better, so we do better. So when I had my daughter, I just knew like I can't be on a diet constantly. I can't do these things anymore. I realized that my journey had taken me down a road of orthorexia, and I've gone into detail over that in other videos, and I'll link them somewhere. But basically, I just knew that I needed to be different. I wanted to be different. I had like something bigger than myself, and it was like the future, a future generation. And I honestly didn't think I was gonna get pregnant. I hadn't planned on it. It was a total surprise. And I was just feeling so blessed like when I found out it was a girl, and then I was feeling very scared because it's a hard road to be a female presenting in this place, or even like born female. So with all of that being said, I just knew I wanted to be a little bit different than how I was raised, and a lot different actually. So I went down a journey of I want this for my daughter. I want self-love. And the thing is like you don't just like turn a switch on and immediately love yourself. And so I dove deep into therapy practices. I understood like what my trauma sources were. I was working with like certified professionals to like work through all these things, and then I was reading books like trying to understand a lot of things. And so I went through this whole self-revelation process. I really tried to like let go of all the things that were just like bringing me down. And so with all that being said, I transitioned into this like role of not only like mother, but like a mother who loves herself and wants to provide that for their child. And so the ways that I do that, I don't ever tell my daughter she's not allowed to eat something. If she says I'm hungry, what do you want to eat? Nothing is ever off limits. It's not like you have to eat your dinner before dessert. Everything is neutral. And so we're allowed to have whatever it is that we're wanting. And oftentimes we think that if we hold some sort of like power, if you finish this, you get this kind of mentality, it actually works better. And she's already like got food sensitivity, so does my son, to just like have everything on the plate and then let them kind of pick and choose. And sometimes I won't even fix them a plate for dinner. And that sounds weird just to say that out loud. But what I mean is they're not hungry at the time that I'm hungry. And so I'll make myself something. I'll ask them, you hungry? Do you want some food? They'll say no. I'll have them sit at the table with me so they can enjoy the time where we're sitting down as a gathering. If they don't want to be there, they don't have to be there. And if they don't want to eat the thing that we're eating, they don't eat the thing that we're eating. They have other options always, so they're not forced to like eat the thing. And I think that's a really important thing, is to have like food neutrality, where nothing is holding some sort of moral value, and we're not like at a standoff, like you better finish this or else. It's just not a healthy mindset, right? So that's a big thing. The next big thing is if they start talking about their own bodies, it's only positive. It's not like, I wish I had this. What are we watching? Who are you around? Like asking questions, understanding like why they're saying the things that they're saying, and then like limiting screen time and like changing things up, because that type of mindset is very, very toxic. So if they're thinking like they need to look a certain way, and my 8-year-old has already started saying things like this, and he is a boy, or born male, he's all boy, and this is not just something that girls struggle with, is my point, right? So if we were in a place of I just noticed that my plant might have thrips. Okay, take a deep breath. So the main thing is that we treat both of our kids the same. We have the same expectation. If they're starting to talk negatively about their bodies, we have conversations about it. Another really important thing that I do is, if they ask me a question, I'm going to tell them straight up the answer in a very real, not phony way. Where do babies come from? Why are you fat? Like, why is the sky blue? There's a lot of reasons for some things, but most things have like a direct answer, and your kids deserve to know. Usually they don't really like hold that to anything, and they just kind of move on with their day. And of course, like, explain it in a way that's age appropriate. Babies come from a mommy's belly that has grown the baby, and when it's ready, it comes out ready for the mommy to take care of it. Like, that might be for like a 5-year-old, right? And so as you kind of like grow up and like understand different things, you can dive deeper into like explanations. But I think honesty is always the best, especially with kids. And I think the reason why this kind of ties into self-love is because we're not having to like question anything, or they're not having to question as many things. And it also leads into like a trusting relationship with your children, and with yourself. Because I think a lot of times we want to hide or protect or whatever, and it's really not doing what you think it's doing. And so that's how I'm doing it. It's not like you need to do the same thing. It's just what I'm doing with my kids, and that way they trust me, especially when I am trying to teach them a lesson about food is morally neutral. Your body is exactly as it is, and it doesn't need to change. And you've got big muscles, like, they're super duper strong. You should be proud of that. And like, if they're noticing a spot on their body that they don't like, oh, I wish I didn't have this belly. Oh, your belly digests food for you, buddy. Like, let's talk about that. That belly is awesome. And like, go into some of that kind of stuff. And especially if they're saying like, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, gosh, ooh, hey, my son is not dumb, my son is not stupid, my son is super duper smart, and he's having a hard time right now. Let's take a breath. Can we do that? And they might even be super angry. You just stay your ground. Eventually they'll come around. Trust me on this. If you escalate it, they will escalate it more. So I know this is more of a parenting thing, but it really kind of ties into self-love, because I learned to love myself, set my boundaries, know my worth, then be able to teach my kids the same thing, and they'll be able to teach their kids, hopefully breaking those cycles. If you want to learn how to do this, I have a course that could help you. And it's 75 days of every single day doing things that you would normally not think would cause or break down to self-love at the end. The first part of the course is about creating habits, having a daily routine. The next part of the course is about uncovering trauma, working through it, understanding how your body is keeping score. We literally read that book in the course. And the last part is about how to give your body self-love. You probably don't even know how. You're like, love myself. Feels weird to probably even do that, but if you take a moment and you're like, actually, I do love myself. Having that type of a thought process is really important. So if you're like, oh, this sounds like what I need, I'll include a link down below and you can go check it out. I also have a ton of free stuff, so free 60-minute class. I'm also going to Costa Rica next year. I want you to be a part of it if you're interested at all. And I'll be having 2 very intense 2-hour workshops, belly love and body acceptance. We'll be hiking in the jungles and going to hot springs and just so many amazing things, not to mention building up this beautiful community of like-minded people. It's gonna be so cool. And then I also have a ton of other courses and my website. Go check that out. A membership where you can get the first couple days for free, where I have relationship check-ins. If you're struggling with the relationship with yourself, start there. So that self-love vibe. But if you want to work on your marriage and see how that is something that could be better, I go break it down, how we check in, why it's important, where we went to how we are now. There's a lot of things. I've been married for almost 20 years and I've been with my husband for almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years in November. And it's crazy how much we've changed over the last 20 years. Crazy. And we kind of go over all the things. I have 3 episodes already up of that and getting amazing feedback from that. So go check that out. So lots of things. If you're interested, checking out all those things, links are all down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.